Hi Kiwi, alright, we are back at Pokemon Shining Pearl, and today we're going to go ahead and visit the Tower of Life. We're going to see if we catch ourselves a new Pokemon in there, hopefully a Ghost type, because I think I mentioned this in the last episode. Ghost types are hands down my favorite type of Pokemon. Alright, lots of gravestones. This is the same theme that was playing in Eterna Forest. I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't have its own theme, and I don't remember if that was the case in the original or not, but no matter. We'll accept the battles as they come. Wah, excuse me. Wah, Ghost Eek, get away from me! Help me, team! Once again, I think I'm going to be phoning it in a little bit with the voice acting. My throat is rather sore. I think I'm coming down with a head cold, and unfortunately, it's left me in a state of my throat not being quite what it wants to be, my head being a bit stuffy, and me overall feeling a bit more tired than I would like. I will do my best to put on a reasonable performance today, but the doof seems a little bit worried about not being able to do well. Oh no. A little concerning that they are dropping poison types in the typical graveyard setting, which I would expect ghost types in. No matter. I think in terms of damage, Headbutt will probably do the most for us right now, so that's what we'll stick with on the doof. And I guess I failed to recognize the fact that we are like 10 levels over leveled, so we are fine. At least the experience will add up and we'll get some levels here, potentially. I think this is the first time I've ever mentally registered a graveyard setting in a Pokemon game where there weren't exclusively ghost types as the only things you see to fight against. But I guess in the meantime, what can I talk about today that is worth talking about? I suppose, Oh, I know. So I've been watching. I found a new YouTube channel that I've been quite enjoying. I like sketch comedy and like people passive aggressively making commentary about their daily lives and the nonsense that goes on in their professional life, especially. So I have been watching two channels in particular. The channel of Dr. Bazelka, who is a veterinarian ER clinician, who he's pretty funny. He also likes to he breaks down a lot of the things that you have to bridge in terms of topics at an ER, common diseases, and then also very common client interactions, which I just find hilarious. There are some instances of like, wow, people really suck, and he's just playing it up for laughs in kind of the typical TikTok sort of video space, but it's not. I don't actually have a TikTok. I pretty much only watch stuff on YouTube. Hey, you're no ghost. And but I've been enjoying his videos. He has some recurring characters where he dresses up. He's got Tom the technician, who you can tell he's Tomming it out because he's wearing a fancy watch, and he always comments on the fancy watch. Okay, so we can find wild Pokemon in here, which is good to know, but we've already had a Zubat. What was it? Oh, right, Vast Deferens. Oh my goodness, why did I name a Zubat that? Regardless, we're gonna use Species Clause. I need to see at least one ghost type that I can use in this playthrough. We already missed our chance for getting Drifloon, unfortunately. I think I've made it very clear. Drifloon and Drifloon are some of my favorite Pokemon. I love their design. I think they're really cute, and the idea that a cute, happy little balloon will whisk children away into the afterlife. Well, maybe that's not so cute, but I still think the backstory of Drifloon is pretty funny, in a very like dark kind of way, admittedly. Anyway, so that's one of them. The other one that I've been watching more recently that I quite have been enjoying is, one second. My Pokemon were taken from me. Team Galactic did it. Ever since, I've never forgiven their faces. I think it's called From Scratch Bakery. And, she and Dylan B. Hollis are like my go-to, these are funny bakery, or funny cooking or baking adjacent game. I like this guy. He is gruff and tumble, but he uses a Cleffa. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, I can hear it in my voice. My voice definitely feels a bit crunchy right now, unfortunately. Oh well. Anyway, so first on From Scratch Bakery. So I believe her name is Alice. She does sketch comedy, but hers is a very like kind of calm and almost soothing delivery for most interactions. Wah! That had no heart in it. Oh, okay, let's see. Are we getting something? Oh, another Zubat. Hooray. I feel like the majority of this game has been Zubats and Geodudes, and I'm very disappointed by that. Like, let us get some fun things. Oh, and Bidoof. Of course, Bidoof. Well, we can't really complain about Bidoof, I suppose, at least from an aesthetic point of view. Regardless, so her skits are usually her going back and forth with her client interactions. She plays both roles, of course, and just the complete nonsense that she has to deal with as the owner of a bakery. Sometimes it's just really, she apparently some of the things she's had said to her, things like, "Will overcooked bread give me cancer?" Which, I mean, technically, if it's burnt, it can act carcinogenic. I can't explain it. Being here compels me to battle. But that's the nature. I know it's in particular with burnt meat. That's a problem. He's got a kid. Okay. That's cute. His little child is helping out with pretending to throw the Pokeball. That's really... I know I was going off on this in the last episode, but I do appreciate the little subtleties of the character animations they have here. Pichu's a little bit threatening, but realistically speaking, I'm going to headbutt it, it's going to die in one hit, and then I'm going to get paralyzed because of static. Watch. Right, it's going to have the passive static, I'm going to get paralyzed. Oh, we even crit it. That's unfortunate. Feels bad to be Pichu in this scenario. Right, do we get punished for the headbutt? We do not. Oh, it has a Pikachu. I think this is the instance where I do switch out just to play it safe, because I don't want to risk the doof just for the sake of speeding things along. So let's switch out Quipple. So Alice's delivery is kind of always a very calm demeanor. She's got kind of a light, I think Irish, I believe was what she said she was, accent. It kind of feels like a mix of Irish and British accent, but I am terrible at discerning accents, so she may just be straight Irish. Either way, I find the way she like delivers her lines, her kind of calm demeanor, and her gentle accent to be very, very soothing. So not only do I find her videos entertaining and amusing, I also find them inherently just like a nice way to calm down while I'm a little stressed. I've only been watching her videos maybe this week. I just discovered her. Like I hadn't seen her before the last episode I recorded, so like 3 days ago maybe. Ooh, Celeste Betha wants to learn Flame Wheel. I'd probably give up Ember for that. Let's see. 60 base damage, may burn the opponent. Yeah, absolutely want that. It's actually more damage than Flame Charge, but Flame Charge does have the added benefit of speed boosting. Yeah, we'll go ahead and toss out Ember for Flame Wheel. We'll benefit from that a lot more. But definitely give her a check out. Again, the channel name I believe is From Scratch Baking, or From Scratch Bakery, I forget which. But I've very much been enjoying her videos. I've been sharing them with Kiwi as well. There was like a 20-minute compilation video, and we watched the entire thing. We were playing Factorio at the time, but both of us just like, we're like, okay, we're both tired, and as much as we want to play Factorio, this video has got our full attention. So we just like switched off of Factorio, watched the video, and then went to bed. And then I guess since I name dropped him, Dylan B. Hollis is another great channel. Unlike Alice, who is very calm, Dylan is the exact opposite. Huh? What was I just doing? Dylan is chaos incarnate. He is very entertaining to watch, though. But there's a lot of shouting. So if that's not your cup of tea, but it's comedic shouting. He's very, very over the top with what he does.
I need to shake off my sorrow. Please battle with me.
Nothing like violence to help you deal with your emotions. I get it. She has 3 Bonsly in her little photo there, but she only has 1 that she can use apparently. It's likely that she only wants to battle with 1, because if she loses this one, she'll have her heart broken again. Maybe. Let's not add sad backstory to a rando that we're never going to encounter again. Do you have Sturdy? You do. Ugh. Wasting my time with that Sturdy. Oh, ooh. So Flail Kiwi, for context, with the move that Bonsly just used, is its damage scales with how little HP the user has. So Bonsly, with Sturdy, having 1 HP, gives Flail, I think, a base 120 or base 200 damage, which was very scary, but thankfully Bonsly has pitiful stats, so it actually didn't matter that much.
My sorrow has deepened.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You probably shouldn't use a baby Pokemon to fight randos in a graveyard and expect a good outcome. Just saying. Maybe re-examine your interactions with other human beings. Alright, we've got a double battle coming up. I probably want one of my Intimidators up front. We're well within level range. I think I'll toss Captain Squawk up front, because we aren't seeing a lot in the way of ground types in this area, so I think we'll be okay. Got a pair of farmers. It makes no difference where we are. If you have Pokemon with you, I reckon we ought to battle.
My Pokemon is a lively one. Let me show you.
I cannot do a southern accent. That last, well, I mean, the first one had a modicum of it, but the second one had like no attempt whatsoever. Beth and Bob. All right. Okay. So I know I've been commenting on how much I like the animation. Here I'm going to comment on the disappointment of Bob's animation there. That was like the most half-hearted, like non-committal little huck of a ball I've ever seen. Maybe it's just the female animations. Although I mean, like the little kid that they had. Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's just the artists of this game focused on the female art style a little bit more. Because I mean, look at the idle animations that Beth has. She's way more like her neutral position is net. Like look at that. She kind of like pulls her hat off and pets her head, and Bob is just standing there idle, basically not doing anything but blinking. Whatever. We're gonna wreck these guys' day. We actually have like the perfect setup to counter their team. Spark on Weasel, water gun on Ponyta. Should get a lot done. I don't think Weasel survives a spark. Most certainly not. We learned early on in this playthrough that Weasel does not have the best defensive stats, if nothing else. Anyway, so I was going to talk about Dylan B. Hollis. So, Chaos Incarnate in a baking setting. What his gimmick, if you will call it a gimmick, is that he tries to. What's the word? He tries to bake old recipes, like from often the Great Depression era, but then and earlier, like the mid to early 1900s and earlier. He bakes old recipes, and a lot of these recipes do not sound appealing on paper, and oftentimes their outcome matches that opinion. But sometimes he finds a recipe that you can just tell how happy he is with the end product, and it's really fun to see that. We've actually tried a couple of his recipes. I think the one we definitely tried was his peanut butter bread that he found, which, I mean, it's basically bread with the taste of peanut butter in it. It's fantastic.
Well, aren't you a lively one?
You've got a lot of giddy up and go in you. I know I'm just using like my two easiest voices to deliver between the Tristan voice and the nasally female voice. Low sweep. Okay. Is that all? Is that just low kick but by another name? I forget. But that's fine. All right, here. Let us have one more double battle. I think we're fine to just start off as we are. All right, give us your challenge.
I can't embarrass myself again, not in front of my girlfriend.
Oh, that's the guy. Hold on.
I can't embarrass myself again, not in front of my girlfriend.
I don't want to look bad again, not when my boyfriend is watching.
You know, if you're gonna flub the line delivery, you may as well commit to the bit. Let's be honest. Young couple Nat and Mike. Mischievous and Murkrow. Okay, so you get the ghost type and the spooky bird type. Where are mine? I want something fun here. Share, please. All right. Anyway, so yeah. So basically, the Dylan's delivery isn't like a kind of skit comedy like the other two are. His is more of a just him having a great time in his kitchen. He often has some cameos by like his houseplant named Frank, which I know isn't really the point of the video, but I find it amusing. What can I say? I guess we'll water gun Mischievous with the Doof. The Doof is hurting for some better attack options, honestly. We'll get him eventually. He'll probably upgrade to Water Pulse at some point, and we'll be happy with that at the very least. Anyway, but he's very loud. He has silly names for all of the ingredients he uses, like, I don't know, whenever he turns on the stove, he screams fire. Whenever he tosses some, baking soda, baking powder into his mix, he calls it floof powder. But ultimately, it's the things that he makes that I'm here to watch, because sometimes he has to deal with very questionable decisions, like vegetable jello. I think it had chopped celery in it, which, I mean, someone was probably into it, but what was the other one? I think it was like canned bean cake or pie or something. Oh man, I'm forgetting all the best ones now. Actually, you know what? Bite will be super effective. Let's go ahead and use that on Mischievous. But if you like cooking or baking adjacent channels, I highly recommend From Scratch Bakery or From Scratch Baking and Dylan B. Hollis if you want something a little bit more energetic. Like, I can binge watch a lot of Dylan's content and just be very happy and amused by it. If it's not his delivery, it is the things that he makes and his response to the ones that are just absolute flops.
This makes me feel so hollow inside. Oh, so hollow.
Ah, jeez. Oh, wait.
Ah, geez, that's a downer.
Why don't we bust out a new voice? Because I've been using the same ones for the last couple episodes, and even I'm a little bored by them. The question is, what voices do I have left to deal with? Oh, we've got some gravekeepers here, I think. We made it to the top floor, which is cool. I wonder what our reward, maybe a soul dew? No, a life dew is an attack, soul dew is a Latios and Latios sort of item. Probably not going to see those. You look like you might be a double battle, or you might not be a battle at all, but either way, let us heal up just in case. Doesn't hurt to be a little bit protective of our Pokemons.
Let me make your journey out of this place less frightening. Take this.
You obtained a cleanse tag. Okay, I think that boosts ghost type moves.
The cleanse tag.
Oh no, it makes it makes more friendly, if I recall.
Let the first Pokemon on your team hold it. It will help keep wild Pokemon away so you can leave unhindered.
Oh, too late. I'm attacked by wild Pokemon. Come on, ghost type. Yes! Okay, we got Ghastly. All right. Now, there's a reasonable chance I still knock it out by accident, but if we don't, we get one of my favorite Pokemon lines ever. Gengar has been my favorite. Oh, it's a level 21. It's pretty up there in terms of level. I'm kind of surprised. Most of the Pokemon around here have been level like 16 to 18. This is a good looking Ghastly to me. All right. Haunter has one of my all-time favorite designs of all time, but Gengar has been on my competitive team since well, I guess I didn't do competitive until really Gen 4, but I mean, he was on my team pretty much every generation I could have him. Because I'm one of those basic Pokemon enthusiasts, you know, the sort that Gengar is one of their favorite Pokemon. Oof, ooh, the doof, ooh, that was spooky. Also, the Mr. Popo Eyes, also spooky. But why don't we go ahead and just toss a Pokeball, see if we can catch it on the first try. I totally forgot to go to the Pokemart and buy more Pokeballs, so we still have a bunch of heal balls, which is good. Oh, you're resistant to being caught, are you, Ghastly? Are you just gonna spam Mean Look? Because I know you must have at least Nightshade. Oh, that's why. You can't hit us with Nightshade because you're a ghost type. Oh, that feels bad. All right, we'll go ahead and yawn on this dude. We'll put him to sleep, and then we'll try and catch him with a heal ball. Honestly, very well may switch out Ghastly for another Pokemon here. Now the question is, does Ghastly in this game have... does Ghastly in this game have... what's it called? Levitate. Because one of the biggest nerfs that they hit with Gengar in competitive recently, because he was just such a dominant force, was getting rid of his ability Levitate. Ghost and Poison Ghost type as a whole has a very good defensive profile. There aren't a lot of types that are super effective against it. It's Dark and it's other Ghost type, which makes it a pretty decent competitive Pokemon just for typing alone. And Poison is reasonably defensive as well.
Ghastly. It's a Pokemon born from poison gases. It defeats even the largest foes by enveloping them in gas.
Weighs 0.2 pounds, because he's mostly gas. All right. So, of course, back when I was playing competitive Pokemon, I was in my high school age, back when I was a big fan of, like, Shadow the Hedgehog, and basically, I was an edgelord as a kid, or at least I liked the edgelord aesthetic, and my Gengar's name was always either Shadow or Shadow Snipe, because why not make it even edgier? But I've grown out of that, so the question is, how are we going to name our Ghastly line this playthrough? There we go, Star Gecko. What does that mean? Why did I name him that? Haha, wouldn't you like to know? I sure would too. All right. Now, Ghastly is level 21, which means we are less than 5 levels apart from our lowest level. Oh, actually, we could still use Celestabetha. And technically, we could use the Doof as well, but I guess the question is, who do I swap out if I want to use this Ghastly? And sadly, I do think it's the Doof getting benched again. I've made it pretty clear that I love Bidoof's design, but B-Barrel leaves a lot to be desired for me. We're gonna bench him, but know in our heart of hearts that the Doof is always there. We love the Doof, but we're gonna give Star Gecko a chance to really shine, twinkle like the star he was born to be. And because we caught him with a heal ball, he's back to full HP. Now let's confirm whether or not he has any attacking moves, because I think that's pretty important to, like, set the expectations here. All right, we have one attacking move by the name of Payback. Dark type move, and it's an attack. It's a physical attack. It will have its damage doubled if we're attacked first, which is not very good on Ghastly at all, because Ghastly has 42 speed. It's gonna be pretty fast. I mean, if we compare it to our other Pokemon, I mean, most of our Pokemon are either really fast or really slow, so maybe that's not a fair expectation to compare to. We may need a TM to give him something attacking worth, though, because sadly, Payback is gonna do awful on him. So let's see what TMs we have that we could possibly teach him. Let's see, TM 82, Sleep Talk, completely useless here because we can't sleep. Taunt, completely useless because, okay, so Star Gecko is gonna have some trouble, but I think we are okay.
The last wait, what am I gonna do? The lost tower is where spirits of departed Pokemon are put to rest. Those that enjoyed long lives, those whose times were short. All the departed Pokemon shall find solace here. It is good of you to have visited. Here, take these technical machines.
TM96s. What are these gonna be? I'm curious. What have you got? Strength. Oh, okay.
Strength in the Hidden Moves app allows you to push large boulders out of your way. To use that hidden move Strength in the field, I've forgotten where exactly, but you must visit a Pokemon gym.
So we can't use it yet, but that's actually very important. I'm glad we came up here. Most importantly, though, we got ourselves a Ghastly, which is very exciting. And now we should have a free pass all the way back down the tower because we took out all the trainers. The biggest issue here is if we can fight some Zubats, we should probably be fine. If we fight another Ghastly, we might be in a sour spot. So the thing about Ghastly, the Ghastly and the Gengar and the Haunter lines is that they're not the most defensive types, admittedly. And if our Ghastly is faster than this Ghastly, and we hit it with Payback, which we probably will first because we are faster here, I don't think that Ghastly is going to get knocked out. On the other hand, though, that Ghastly, if it uses Payback, will deal double damage, which is just very scary. I guess I have no choice but to do it, though. Or I could have switched out to Celestabetha. Maybe that would have been the better option here. Oh, this is bad. If it uses Payback, I think we're just losing. Okay, how come you get Hypnosis? How come I don't get Hypnosis? I got Spite and Curse, which are two moves you never really want to use. Curse on Ghost types takes a quarter of our HP and then does a quarter of the opponent's HP every turn. Or rather, actually, Curse takes half our HP now that I think about it. Well, on the bright side, at least that Ghastly did not have Payback to use against us. But it's definitely, that was pretty spooky. I think the next time I see a Ghastly, I'm swapping out to Celestabetha just to protect Star Gecko from at least one death this episode. I mean, technically he's a ghost, so he's already dead, right? Who knows? But what I do know is that we're going to be depending on Celestabetha as our like defensive option, which is not ideal. But if it means I can keep Star Gecko alive, I'm going to be willing to. Oh wait, actually, Kiwi will be very upset at me if I sacrifice our Ponyta. At least until we see it as a Rapidash, right? So, no matter. We made it through the Tower of Life and got something that was dead. So, worth it, right? Now, do I keep? I guess I keep progressing for now. We'll see where we end up. I'm just gonna do a. Once again, I know this is completely superfluous and it doesn't benefit us at all in this playthrough, but for me, peace of mind saving is always worth doing. We have saved our progress. Okay. So, our team's looking a little bit more rounded. I think we still have a pretty glaring weakness to ice, water, and grass types in this build, but we'll see where it takes us. Hi, sorry about that. I had to help Kiwi find something. She misplaced her pedometer, and we need that for today since we're counting steps. All right, anyway, I should be kind of wary about trainer battles here just because there are likely going to be some scary things that could end Star Gecko's reign of terror before it even begins. I guess you're not a trainer, you're just a jogger? I'm going to keep running just as long as there's a road. This guy embodies Sonic the Hedgehog. Very much appreciate his mentality there. You run free, my bro.
I'm taking a rest. If I were a bird Pokemon, it would be Roost. Ha! You should rest up too.
You obtained TM51s. Oh, excellent. I think those are, that must be Roost. So, Roost is quite nice.
If they had to keep flying forever, bird Pokemon would eventually crash.
Roost is a interesting healing ability that, or healing move that, what are they called? Flying type Pokemon can get. And it's interesting because it makes them temporarily non-flying types almost. It grounds them similar to how the attack gravity works.
My Pokemon toughened up from working on the ranch. I'm right proud of them.
So basically, if you had like a normal flying type, it would temporarily be treated by the game as just a normal type if it used Roost. But that Roost ability does heal the Pokemon by 50%. The main thing is that it makes it so flying types can be hit by ground type, which is pretty important. Okay, so we're starting up against an Aipom. Aipom probably mostly learns fighting and normal type moves this early, so it may not even be able to hurt us. I am very hopeful that is the case. We'll see. But we'll let Star Gecko stay out for a little bit, hopefully get some good experience off this trainer battle. It's going to be a slow go, though. Astonish. Oh, great. It knows a ghost type move. Hooray. All right, well, with that in mind, we're switching out to Celestabetha because I'd be very upset if, if we lost Star Gecko this early into the run. So yeah, we'll play it safe here. I don't know if I'm gonna do this full route in this episode, but I want to at least, I have at least a little bit longer in this episode to go, so we'll take what we can get. Anyway, so I was rambling about some random entertainment I find on YouTube. What else can I talk about? What have I been watching on YouTube lately? I mean, I still fall asleep to League of Legends videos. Zwag Zareth, or Zwag, is kind of his username, and I quite enjoy his stuff. He's similar vein to why I was saying I like Alice's videos. He's kind of got just a very calming demeanor. He's a pretty solid player all around. He plays every champion in the game, which is pretty cool. And I mean, I pick and choose which ones I'm in the mood to watch. Now, this is unfortunate because we're up against a Psyduck who probably has Confusion, and I cannot. And probably has Water Gun too, so it's basically who do I want to risk, Star Gecko or Celestabetha? Because everyone else is outside the level range at which I could use here. It's a little sketchy. I think there's no good answer here because Psyduck is guaranteed to have Water Gun, which will probably would knock out Celestabetha in one hit. Maybe I'm gonna use a potion on Star Gecko in the hopes that it can survive a Confusion. It probably cannot, admittedly. I miss the days of Gen 1 Gas League Haunter Gengar where special was a combined stat. Your special attack and your special defense were one and the same. Alright, so we did confirm Psyduck does have Confusion, so this is where things get super sketchy. We go for the Burn on Flame Wheel or the Tackle just for the damage it gives, but no matter what, I think the Psyduck is a huge threat. It counters our two Pokemon that we are only allowed to use right now. What do I do, Kiwi? I'm scared. I'm very scared. I guess we'll go for the Tackle. We'll have to see if we can survive a Water Gun, but I think the odds of us surviving a Psyduck's Water Gun are relatively low. If it continues to spam Confusion, we have a chance, though. I am within healing a potion range, so I'm going to top myself off here. But I do openly acknowledge every turn I do not knock this Psyduck out is another chance it has of using Water Gun, which will likely one-shot us, if not come close to it. Thankfully, it is giving us a pittance with the Tail Whip. This game, I think this game is doing the thing it did with that last, when we first caught Manny the Dude Buster. It has the option, and it's holding it until the last second just to ruin our hopes and dreams. Just you watch, it's gonna use Water Gun this turn. Oh, we crit. Did we crit? No, we didn't crit. We rolled high and we rolled low. Awesome. So when I say rolled high and roll low, I guess I should give context to that. In Pokemon, the amount of damage a move can do is based on a whole number of things, but most importantly, it is based on, how to phrase this? It's based on the type of the user. If it's the same type, it gets a damage bonus. It's based on the base damage of the move, the attack or special attack stat, whichever one's relevant, of the user. And then it also has an internal number that is irrelevant to the user that is kind of shared between all Pokemon. I think it ranges from 0 to 250 about, or I might be misremembering because I haven't looked at the damage calculation in a while, but basically there is an RNG factor to how much damage a move can do, and so there's a minimum and maximum damage range that every attack can do. And so that's what I mean when I say high roll or low roll, whether I get the high range or the low range on that. Clearly the overall damage usually averages out to somewhere in the middle, but there is a chance that it goes high and there's a chance it goes low, and that was a very clear instance of when it went both high and low, I think.
Your Pokemon sure can be counted on.
But, alright, so basically, the long story short right now is Star Gecko is going to be very scarily vulnerable until we can get him some moves that actually scale with his special attack, because he can't He is not an offensive threat to anything right now. Well, we have to catch a new Pokemon in this area. I think for now I'm going to avoid having to do that just because... Oh no. Oh no, it's a double battle, Kiwi. I'm scared.
Yay, we got a battle with... Yay, we're gonna battle with lots of Pokemon. Yay, we're gonna have a battle with 3 trainers.
Okay, so because I didn't move Captain Squawk out of second position, I am going to maintain the rule that I set up before that if we lead a double battle with a Pokemon that is so over leveled that it would otherwise eat the Pokemon we were going to use, I'm going to maintain the position that that Pokemon, that over leveled Pokemon has to be switched out on the first turn, and then it's acceptable. So with that in mind, we at least get the Intimidate here, but both of these are typically special attackers, I believe, so that doesn't necessarily help us out that much. What I can do at the very least is have Star Gecko use Payback, which is going to be really bad in this instance because there's not much it can do with that. I think Fairy types resist Dark, so we'll have it use it on Pikachu and inevitably get paralyzed by Static. Ooh, these are level 21 as well. That's really sketchy. All right. The good news is Celestabetha should be super effective against Clefairy because there are 3 types that are effective against Fairy types. Fire, Poison, and Steel, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about Poison, but I know I'm very confident in the case of both Steel and Fire types being super effective against Poison, or sorry, against Fairy. And I'm pretty sure Fairy types are in this game right now. Disarming Voice. So let's see, if we resist this attack, we do, cool. So both of our Pokemon resist Disarming Voice, which is a Fairy type move, I believe. So that's good for us. And actually, Payback did an impressive amount of damage on that Pikachu, actually. That's good to know. So we will take Flame Wheel here and hopefully knock out Clefairy in one turn. We got very lucky that this was what we went up against in a double battle. I really would overall like to avoid double battles altogether out of fear, out of genuine fear, if nothing else, honestly. But this should hopefully get Star Gecko at least 1 level, which is quite great for us. I feel like even with Defense Curl, this Clefairy is probably not... Actually, no, I take that back. Clefairy and Clefable are actually pretty decent defensive options. Oh, it already got hit. Never mind. What am I talking about? Yeah, it clearly did survive that hit. I'm fine, Kiwi. I'm paying attention to what's going on in the game. We'll use Flame Charge here. It should be enough to knock out Clefairy. Thankfully, they all have a penchant against Ponyta for some reason, because they've completely ignored Ghastly in this fight. I'm very thankful about that, because again, Ghastly is severely lacking in defensive options. If nothing else, we are getting severely lucky here, but I will take that. And the good news is now that Ghastly is level 22, we have the option of being able to switch out to a whole lot more of our team. The downside is Star Gecko has 4 PP on Payback, just got Encored, so there's no option to not hit this Clefairy with Payback. And that leaves our offensive options very, 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 very limited when we finally have to fight again. Something else. I definitely don't want to go hunting for a wild Pokemon right now. Not only just for the risk factor if I don't know what I'm going to have to contend with, but more so from the fact that I won't have the moves to actually do any damage to it. I would have to curse it and potentially risk Ghastly getting knocked out. This Ghastly would do half its HP to itself to just lay that curse. Okay, Celestabetha is now level 26, which is great. At the very least, this battle did give us a whole lot of experience. We can't use Pine Tree, we can't use Captain Squawk, unfortunately. But we can use the rest of our team, which is good. We can't use Quipplecore either. So we can use Celestabetha, and the fact that we can use Manny the Dude Buster is very helpful to us, admittedly. But they are close to level.
We two couldn't win. Even with both of us, we lost.
Should have delivered that more disappointed, like,
Even with both of us, we lost.
that sort of delivery. All right, so let's see. Things we need. We need to cure paralysis on Celestabetha so that she can switch out again. I missed, oops. Okay, we need to use a potion to heal up our Celestabetha. All right, hear me out. I think this is what I'm gonna do. I have the option of using the Dude Buster and I have the option of using Celestabetha. They should cover each other's weaknesses reasonably well. Let's see what wild Pokemon we encounter, and that's how we'll end the episode today. I'll just make sure that I swap out from Star Gecko before we have to worry about anything spooky. All right, another Ponyta. Can't use that, or I don't want to use that since we already have our, what is it? We have Celestabetha. I don't need another Ponyta. So let's switch out to Dude Buster, and in typical fashion, what I'll do, Kiwi, since this seems to be a running gag, or not a running gag, but a running theme at the end of every episode, is I will fast forward until we have ourselves our new encounter or something substantial happens otherwise. See you soon. Alright, Kiwi, we found a Kricketune, and having looked it up, as it turns out, we can't actually find any Pokemon we haven't already seen in this area. So I'm just gonna take what I can get. Kricketune is probably not actually that much of a threat against Ghastly because we quad resist bug types with Poison and Ghost. I don't know why Ghost types resist bug types. I don't know if they changed that. But I am gonna switch out, I think. Just for the sake of making this easier, safer, and faster a catch. But this Kricketune is definitely gonna be evolution fodder or just whatever fodder we need. Because I don't foresee myself using this, but at least we have the option of having him in our party if all else fails. I think Kricketot I actually kind of like Kricketot and Kricketune's designs, but they're not gonna be carrying the run here. Now this is the thing. I might one-shot it with any of these options. What has the lowest base power? I guess Water Pulse, but it gets stabbed, so I think Body Slam, honestly, with a chance to paralyze. Ancient Power will probably one-shot this. We may unfortunately just lose this dude, but we'll see. Okay, cool. Body Slam using many of the Dude Buster's lackluster attack stat means that we can pretty rely. Oh no, it has Absorb. Oh, okay, it has no damage either. So even if that was quad effective, if we were Gastrodon with the water or ground typing, I think we would have been fine. So, all right. I like that when you use Body Slam here, your Pokemon's body kind of swells up for a second. It looks really weird. Anyway. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna catch this Kricketune and call it our new addition. And I still did forget to buy more Pokeballs, so I'll do that off camera. We're gonna head back to town. We'll catch that. We'll buy some more Pokeballs, and that's where we'll start the next episode. We made it through the Tower of Life, and we made it through a little bit more of this route. All right, with all that said, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. But before we actually sign off, I guess I do have to do the most important part of any new catch, and that is a nickname.
Kricketune. It signals its emotions with its melodies. Scientists are studying these melodic patterns.
I guess technically Kricketune is a new member, but I'm pretty sure we had a Kricketot. Right, we named him Totter Fodder. So we knew his lot in life. So technically this is within the species clause, but I looked it up. There is no new species in this area that we haven't already seen or caught as a first encounter. So we're just going to take the fancy Kricketune, add something to the Pokedex after all. Let us see. Welcome to the team Herculecles. All right, I can't even say his name. Herculecles is going straight to the box and will probably never be seen from again. All right, Kiwi. With all that said, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're asleep, I hope you're sleeping well. I love you, and I will see you in the next episode. Until then, take care.